Welcome to Denodo's Amazon Redshift Partner Portal. Today we'd like to show you how Denodo easily integrates together on-prem and off-prem data using Amazon's Redshift. And on the screen you see an example of what we're going to do today. We're going to take Redshift and connect to it and create an event table. This is a one-to-one mapping of the tables that are built into Redshift in the default Hello World schema. And we'll build up what we call a base view. Okay, we'll also take some data that marketing keeps on a local hard drive, and they call it marketing categories. And the marketing categories are owned by the marketing department and occasionally need to be updated. So this is the on-prem data, and Redshift is the off-prem data. Now, from those two base views, we're going to create a higher level view via transformation and a data integration to create event category. All right. And that event category can then use merged data from both on-prem and off-prem, Redshift and CSV. And here we have the Redshift cluster that we're going to be connecting to that I booted up ahead of time, and the JDBC data source down below, so that we can use that with our Denodo tool to connect. I would like to make a point just before we begin the technical demo piece that you can create a data source connection not only to Redshift, but many other types of data sources, JDBC, ODBC, multidimensional databases, web services, files, etc., web services, even SAP if you'd like. We have custom wrappers for other tools that don't match one of these categories. So there's quite a few connections that we can make. I'll pretty much say that anything you have we'll be able to connect to. But let's go ahead and create a JDBC data source just to show you some of the breadth, at least in the JDBC side of the world, of the different databases we can connect to. And as you can see, there are a lot of them. And again, through ODBC, there are more. So just wanted to point that out before we begin the demo. All right, so let's go ahead and connect up to Redshift. We'll show you that. And this is our wrapper around Redshift, and you'll notice that it's got the URL that I just showed you. And it has a login name and password that we created previously. We can go ahead and test it, and you'll notice that we connect just fine. And once we're connected, we can interrogate using JDBC's metadata capability to go grab the public tables that are out there. And specifically for this demo, we just want to get at one of them. What we're going to do now is create a base view. And the base view represents all the columns that are found in the event table. Okay? And we'll name an event and save it. And once we're saved it, we can execute a query against Redshift. And it's running, I'm up near Seattle. It's down in Portland, so it's several hundred miles away. And in less than a second or two, you'll get the answer back. And we'll notice here that it took a couple seconds. But if we refresh, it'll probably be a little faster now that the database is woken up and running. I haven't run it before the demo. So there you go. Less than a second, you get the data. Okay. So this again is a connection to Redshift. And we created a base table. I wanted to show you that, how we do it. All right. So now we can create, given a CSV file that we've mounted on a local drive here, and it's available. It's a CSV file. We can do the same thing. We can create a base view on it. And you'll notice that it gives us the column names of the spreadsheet as pieces of data that we can represent in a table inside Denodo. And again, we can query that data as well. Since it's local, it ought to be very fast, and it is. 13 milliseconds. I bet you if we refresh it, it'll be even faster again, but not much. So there you go, 10 milliseconds, 30% increase. All right. So there's your two tables, and we've created them and saved them. Now, how do you join them to do the higher level view? Well, that's not hard at all. All you do is right-click here and say do a new join. You'll notice you can do unions, minus, intersects, flattens, all these type of things within our tool. And we simply drag and drop the tables that we have just created. Okay. And then we connect them using primary key. Well, in this case, category ID is what we're after. And you'll notice that the join is created for you automatically, and the type is selected as an inner. but you could adjust it however you like. We can specify where conditions. We have a limited set of data here, so I won't worry about that. We can do group bys, and we can adjust the output. You'll notice here that we have two category IDs given the union of both tables. We can simply just remove one of them. Now, if you wanted to make a business decision and no longer call it category ID, or cat ID, you just want to call it ID, that's fine. The original data set underneath is not affected, but the world will see this ID, and it's available. And if you'd like to move it up, that's fine too. You can do that and put it up at the top. Most of us like to see the ID there. So if you'd like to do that, that's fine. You can rename them, do whatever you want. And again, this is storing the metadata about that. And so that we don't store any data here. We just transform it as it goes through, and we'll flip the name for you. We can also create a new field if you'd like. We can concatenate or work on data or change data. For this, I'll call it Munch. And you have full access to any of the data that you included for the union, as well as powerful transformation functions, hundreds of them. And you can even provide your own through extending our API using Java. Okay? So for now, I want to just concat two fields together. And you'll notice, I don't know, let's just pick something, the event name. Let's put in a comma, shall we, in between. And then we'll pick maybe something from the CSV file, I don't know, the category description, something. We're just making it up, whatever. All right, so there we go. So now we've got both there and ready to go. And now when we go ahead and save it, I think it was called event. Let's see, let's get the right name here. Event category, let's name it the same. Event category. All right, so we'll save it. And now that we're saved, we can execute that and combine on-premise data with off-premise data. And you'll see the results here, okay? And you'll notice that we've got all the the data from Redshift as well as the data from the CSV file. And we'll even show you the concatenated data with a comma in between, okay? So that's a transformation of the data. So this is a high-level view, and within a few minutes, we could expose this as a web service, if you like REST or SOAP or OData. It's already exposed, given I'm an administrator here. I've given it rights in the background to be able to be queried by ODBC or JDBC. So very nicely done, very quickly done. So that concludes our demo of integrating on-prem data with off-prem data in Redshift using our Denodo tool. If you'd like to know more information, go to www.denodo.com or email info@denodo.com. Thanks for watching.